All right, welcome back to Beyond the Line of Scrimmage. I'm your host, joined by my partner as always, Montana Boy. Today, we're talking about college football playoff. Got some early predictions. Obviously, this is before spring ball.
Yep.
Take these with the tiniest grain of salt, the tiniest pinch, the tiniest pinch, I should say. Don't take these seriously.
Yeah.
Where's Michigan? Where's Tennessee? I don't want to see that. I don't care. All right? They have the opportunity to prove themselves to me closer we get to the season. During the season, I will gladly listen. This is what we have right now. We will gladly do more research, do more digging as we get closer to the season. This is just going off of our early vibes. Kind of a little eye test, see who's coming back, looking at schedules, and then kind of going from that. We're not taking this portion too seriously. We're just having some fun. We're putting together essentially a rough draft of what you could expect come this fall.
And this could easily change after spring ball.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Like everybody entered the portal for Alabama or anybody, it's over. And all of a sudden, Alabama, you're out. Michigan, you're in. So it could easily change.
Exactly.
So relax, sit back and enjoy our 12-team playoff prediction.
Number one. Let me get you started here. It's not the reigning champ. It's not the defending champ. This team had one loss all year. What week did this team lose for them to miss out on the playoff?
What week?
Yeah, when did they take their loss?
I think conference championship week, if I'm correct.
And how many losses did they have in the last 3 years?
One, I think.
So this team missed the playoff after losing their conference championship game by how many points?
Honestly, it was 7 or below.
That's odd. You tell me the team that lost one game in the past years didn't make the playoffs because they lost one game, even though there was other one-loss teams that got in over them?
We had a lot of deserving teams last year, to be fair.
That is true. Well, this is why this team is our current number one. It is the Georgia Bulldogs, guys. Clear, above and beyond, the most talented team, the most proven pedigree out of any team in the country right now. And now they got a chip on the shoulder.
Yeah.
You kicked us out of the playoffs? For what reason? You know what we did in the bowl game? We only just trounced Florida State 65-7. Oh, look at the opt-outs. The SEC don't care about bowl games, guys. We know this. Georgia, by far and away, gotta be my early favorite.
Yeah.
They've proven it on the field, year in, year out. Kirby Smart's led this team to peaks that no one knew were imaginable at the Georgia program. Not even the most optimistic Georgia fans would have seen this coming, what they have been able to do. They got a favorable schedule, for the most part. You got solid schedule, you got good depth, got some top-end talent coming against them. You got Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss. I tell you those 3 games, and you've got one team that's going to be favored in every single one of those, and it's Georgia. What do you think the record is going through there? First thought. What's your first thought, gut reaction? Hey, your team is playing this team, you're Georgia. You're playing Texas, Alabama, and Ole Miss. What's your record?
It's 3-0 or 2-1.
2-1 at the very worst.
Yes.
You are a lock to the playoff. Welcome in, Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah.
You are the number 1 seed. Coach, tell me your rationale about Georgia.
Okay, well, obviously, like you hinted at, they're going to have a chip on their shoulder to prove that they were actually the best team in the country. Like we showed you with the schedule, Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss. You get through those 3 unscathed, you might as well just sit back and enjoy because you're winning the national title. Mm-hmm. But, obviously, that's not how football works. The game is played on the field, in between the lines, okay? So we have Georgia at number 1 as the SEC champ this year.
They're the deserving number 1.
Yeah, for sure. But also, Texas could beat them. Mm-hmm. We're just really uncertain. We're pretty sure Georgia's going to win, but also Texas is pretty good. Alabama could be pretty good. Ole Miss, good on paper. Mm-hmm. But we got to see Lane Kiffin do it. Exactly. And that's kind of like the same thing with James Franklin.
Exactly.
All right, number 2 on our list of the current top 12, Ohio State. Pretty obvious pick there. It could have been Ohio State or Oregon. Whoever wins the Big Ten is going to be number 2.
I'm hearing a lot of word on the street that off-season national champions.
That might be my pick to win the national title.
For all the bandwagon fans out there, this is your team. You loaded up all the talent you need. You got all across the country talent coming into this school. You are an Ohio State Buckeye. Yeah. You got a top team in the Big Ten with a very favorable schedule. Yeah. You're almost guaranteed a playoff spot. Almost. Yeah. Obviously, football is played on the field, not from my words. But, I mean, you got Oregon, Michigan, and Iowa as your top 3 games.
Yeah.
2-1 is the expectation. Even if you go 1-2, you are right on the cusp of making the college football playoff.
Yeah.
And, we're talking about Ohio State here. You get plus 5 points. You're Ohio State. You got the name with you. Here's a little kick. We're going to give you a little bump here.
Obviously, off of brand power alone, Ohio State is going to be in the top 12. Michigan, I had them coming 8-3 into the game. Ohio State, I have them coming 10-1. Okay? Michigan plays Oregon and Texas before Ohio State. They might slip against another Big Ten opponent. I'm not really sure what they're going to look like. So, I have Ohio State being the Big Ten champ with wins over Oregon, Michigan, and Iowa, who I assume will be a one-loss team to Ohio State. So, I mean, that's it. That's all you need to be. Number 2. Mm-hmm. Number 2, you get a bye. Top 4 teams get a bye in this new playoff. You're a Big Ten champion. You're a top 2 team, no matter what. Top 2 conferences, top 2 teams. That's it right there.
And also, as a reference for you guys, just so you guys know, the top 4 conference champions, a.k.a. the Power 4, is what we have now. Automatic buys out of the first round. Doesn't matter if you are 6-6. You made the conference championship. You won that. Hey, you just turned yourself into the playoff. That is the beauty of this sport.
Yeah.
And a lot of people look at a lot of negatives. Oh, this team that's 9-4, they're getting a bye. They're hosting a playoff game. That's just another thing I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
All right. You can talk all you want about how this team is not good enough. Okay, cool. They won the games that was presented to them.
Yeah.
They won when it mattered most. They've been rewarded for it.
Yeah.
Let the kids have fun. Let them prove it on the field.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen. Any given Saturday.
Yeah.
Just wait for it to happen.
Exactly. Games aren't played on paper, okay? Even though Ohio State's loaded, even though Georgia's loaded, they can still fall easily. We have so many loaded teams. Mm-hmm. It was so hard for me to make this top 12. Mm-hmm. There's like 8 teams on the bubble that I could easily put into the top 12.
Hey, you know what? I didn't do a single bit of work on this. I look at the list and I say, yeah, I see that happening. I can see this with reasonable expectation that, yep, I can see this happening. This guy is my genius.
Brain power.
I just talk about it.
Okay, then. Let's talk about this. Number 3, Florida State will be my ACC champ next year.
I mean, there's a big team that may or may not be in this list. I can't see if I can see him, but... That might be something to talk about.
What name might that be?
Well, it's Death Valley Jr.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
Huh. Florida State.
Yeah.
Here's Florida State's schedule. Clemson, Miami, Notre Dame. Those are the games to know. 2-1 is all you need.
Yeah.
Shoot, 1-2. You go undefeated the rest of the year. Florida State, welcome to the college football playoff. You've earned yourself a spot. Let's talk about why are they your number 3 team here? Why is Florida State your number 3 team here?
Well, you're returning all this defensive talent like we talked about in episode 2 of Beyond the Line of Scrimmage. Okay, we talked about episode 2, so go check on that one. Okay, DJ Ugalele coming in from Oregon State. You're going to get a game manager quarterback. You're set there. You're set on offense. Okay, Mike Norvell is going to have the offense cooking like he did last year. Okay, the only thing we're worried about is that the committee is going to let Florida State in the playoff. Okay, they might have a bias. We don't know. Okay, Florida State. Obviously, I would not put them as the 3rd best team in the country. Mm-hmm. But based on the playoff system, they would be my ACC champ.
I want to say this. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I love this format.
Yeah.
You are giving such an importance to winning your conference championship.
Yep.
This is what matters. And if you don't win your other games, and you will be rewarded. But we're going to give the best benefit to the people who perform the best when it matters most.
Yep.
And I love that about this. You can get a team that is 9-4, as I said earlier, hosting a college football playoff game.
Yep.
I mean, come on. If that doesn't get you excited about college football, with all due love, power, and respect, you do not love this game enough.
Yeah.
And I need you to sit down and reflect with yourself. If you can't tell me that you see 9-4 Georgia Tech hosting a college football playoff game, come on.
That would be magical. The only thing that sucks about these top 4 teams, they don't get to host their own playoff game.
Oh, they don't actually get to host?
No, so it would be...
So I was wrong.
5 through 12. Obviously, the higher seed would host 5 through 12. 1 through 4 get a bye.
Oh my... You're lying. You're telling me that... So you get a bye, but you don't get to host a playoff game?
Yeah.
That's a lie.
In a normal bowl game.
You've got to be lying to me right now.
No, but you have to include the Rose Bowl and the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, that's where you got the semifinals.
Yeah, but there's also quarterfinals. You'd have top 8.
Yeah, so play... there's no way they fumbled the bag like this.
I mean, it's still going to be 5 through 12. That's going to be amazing to watch.
So what's the point of having a... honestly, I'd rather be a 5 through 12 seed then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that point because you also get experience just playing.
Are you positive that...
Yes,
the top...
I'm positive. 1 through 4 get a bye and they get the bowl game. They don't get home field advantage.
What are we doing?
I don't hate that.
I despise that. Why are you not giving these guys a chance to host at least one game? That's why you're the number 1 seed. You deserve that enrichment. You deserve that power to be, hey, we get to play at home, have fun. We're going to have 47-year-old grown men. You've got your 7-year-old kid. Guess what? He's leaving the stadium crying. 1,700 people barked at him throughout the course of 37 minutes. That's just college football.
Okay.
I despise that.
That's a fair point.
No, I really despise that. What's the benefit that you don't get to play an extra game?
You get 11 days off at the end of the season where guys need it. That might be the biggest selling point. Anyway, that is our top 3. Who is our final number 4 that will get the first round bye?
Coming out of the Big 12. Name your teams here. Coach?
Colorado.
Okay.
Oklahoma State.
I can see that happening.
Kansas State.
Yeah, absolutely. But, there's one team that we're missing here, and it is a pedigree of their own when you compare them to these teams here. The definition of success, it's Utah.
Cam Rising is the reason you go to Utah football. Mm-hmm. You will win games on the ground, win games through the air, win games on defense. That is the perfect program, especially with Kyle Whittingham as head coach. I believe that Utah will be the Big 12 champ this year. In this new Big 12 with Colorado, Kansas State, Oklahoma State. That is going to be a fun conference to watch, like it was last year. Now you just add Utah, you get rid of Texas and Oklahoma.
You add some Pac-12 after dark into the already vibe sesh that you've got going on there.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. This is Cloud 9 for us.
Yeah. Why do I think Utah is going to be the Big 12 champ this year? Well, they're going to get a win over Oklahoma State. You would think, based on returning experience at Utah, you're going to get a win over Arizona, who they got a new head coach. I'm not really sure if that's going to do it for them. You're bringing back Noah Fafita and Jalen McMillan, but you have a new head coach, so I'm not 100% sure on Arizona yet. And then, Colorado. Are they going to be the team that we want them to be?
They still got to prove themselves.
Yeah.
If you look at the teams in the Big 12, there is one team that has proven that they can do it year in, year out.
Yep.
Consistently.
Yeah.
And that's Utah. What Kyle Whittingham has done there has been more than just special there. Building a power of success year in, year out is not something easy to do. Not in the Big 12, not in the Pac-12, not at Utah, of all places there.
That is my number 4 team. So that is the final team that is getting a bye in the new 12-team playoff. Who is going to be the first team that doesn't get a bye, but will host against the 12 seed? That is none other than...
I've got it here.
Oregon.
Now, you're getting the slight to Ohio State.
Yep.
You've got the chance to prove that on the field. Oregon fans, don't worry. Yeah. We are saying right now that if Ohio State does not exist in this top 4 get a playoff bye, you are the next team up. Yeah. Look at this right now. You know what that means? You're probably the 3rd best team in all of college football right now.
Yeah.
If you're keeping a stack right now, in terms of what you're bringing back, in terms of what you've done, the pedigree that you have at Oregon, this isn't necessarily the best of the rest. This is, hey, we've got a chance to show everyone who we are and prove all the doubters wrong.
Yeah.
This is the perfect opportunity for Oregon. You get to play Ohio State. You get to determine, are we Big Ten champs? And you know what? If you lose to, and you know what's even better? If you lose to Ohio State as long as you play well enough, chances are you get to see them again. You know what that means? You got a chance for redemption and take that spot right back where it belongs, in Eugene.
And speaking of see them again, the 5th seed would play the 12th seed. Mm-hmm. Whoever wins that game would play the 4 seed. Our 4 seed is Utah. Talk about Oregon versus Utah again. The Pac-12 comes back one more night. That is going to be special.
They have to have that A in the Rose Bowl or B in Eugene, man. In Rice-Echo Stadium, a nice, beautiful 9:30 p.m. kickoff. Oh, man. Sign me up.
Oregon, number 5. You're the Big Ten runner-up. Okay? If you have a close game with Ohio State, you're easily going to be the top 5.
And that's not something to hang your head about.
Yeah.
You've got your chance. You're in the playoff. You have your chance to prove yourself. Go out and do it.
And I mean, you'll have a favorable bracket, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I would easily say your top 4 team. I would put Utah probably top 8, top 9. Mm-hmm. Okay? So even if you do draw the 5th seed in this new playoff format, you would play our 12th seed, which we'll show later, and then you play Utah, which I think you would be favored over in the bowl game. And then you move on to the semifinals.
Absolutely.
Number 6. Okay, we're moving on. Ole Miss.
This is my team here.
Yeah.
This is my team.
The dark horse.
Lane Train Kiffin. I see that man on Twitter and I just get a little smile on my face. I see the roster. Jackie Dart. Running back, I don't know. Wide receiver room of dogs. And a beautifully well put together defense.
Yeah.
This is my vibes team. All right? You want to have fun and probably not love your life come the end of the season? Welcome to Oxford, Mississippi.
Obviously, Georgia, in this situation, will be the SEC champion. Okay? So I have Ole Miss playing them in the SEC championship game and losing. That's just how I see it right now. Okay? Don't come at me. Okay? Things change. Transfer portal opens up after spring ball. Things could change. Okay? Washington, they got guys from Washington. The Joe Moore Award winning line. They have 2 of them. So, Ole Miss, you're number 6. Okay? That is what it is right now. We would probably put you in the top 5 in terms of actual best teams. Okay. Number 7. My vibes pick.
Oh, man, stretch here.
Texas will be my number 7. Okay? Texas will play Georgia this year. Obviously, Texas being in the new SEC. I have them being number 7, and they're not even going to play in the conference championship game. So that tells you how high I am on Texas. Hopefully, they have a close game with Georgia, and hopefully they win the Red River rivalry, and they win in week 2 against Michigan. Those could obviously go 0-3 in those games. Honestly, you lose Red River, possible, and you lose in the Big House, very possible. But I have Texas going 11-1. They will be my number 7 team in this format. Okay, so 7 would play 10. Okay, so we'll show you who our 10th seed is. Okay, they might be a little familiar. That's a little hint to you guys later. A little familiar with this team. Okay, they bring back Quinn Ewers. They'll have their running back, Jaden Blue, C.J. Baxter. Bring in the wide receiver from Alabama, Isaiah Bond. Okay, your wide receiver room is going to be loaded. You lose your defensive line coach, who I think you can replace, but obviously he was very good. Okay, I am predicting Texas to be number 7 as of February 21st, 2024.
We got the bachelors, the bridesmaid
The Bachelors.
of the Big Ten. Coach Bohr, you are a Nittany Lion if you are in that belt.
Yeah, Penn State, number 8.
This may be the team that benefits the most for the 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
I believe I saw a graphic a couple weeks ago showing off the top teams who just missed out. And under this 12-team playoff, would have made some of the most.
Yeah.
And out of the teams who did not make a playoff appearance, there was one team at number 1 And that was the Penn State and Indy line.
Their only feasible opponent with any strength in them is Ohio State. And they get Ohio State in Beaver Stadium. This could be a night game. Probably will be a night game.
Could be a 12 p.m. kick.
Could be a 12 p.m. kick. Big noon kickoff. If so, we're not watching. Okay? Call it off. You're losing 2 viewers. Fox, make this a night game.
We are going to CBS Sports Network. We are watching Troy and god dang Charlotte 49ers play some football.
Let's do it.
We're in.
So I have Penn State at number 8. 8 will play the 9 seed, who we'll talk about right now. 9, Alabama.
What?
You draw Alabama.
Oh.
You make it to the playoff for the first time.
They're getting knocked out right away, dude. They're getting knocked out right away.
The
Penn
only
State?
advantage they have is that it's at Penn State. But Alabama, obviously, are 9th seed, okay? They would play the 8th seed, and then they would play the number 1 seed. So, if Alabama wins, play Georgia. Penn State wins, play Georgia.
Oh.
Consider yourselves, it's over, okay?
Have fun.
So, Alabama, in order for you to be the 9th seed, you're going to have to hang with Georgia, okay? You play them in the regular season. I believe it's in Tuscaloosa. I'm not 100% sure about that, so don't quote me. But you'll have wins over Oklahoma, new SEC opponent. LSU, we're hoping you get that win. Missouri, that'll be a tough game as well. And Tennessee. I could have them finishing 9th. But honestly, they could lose to LSU. They could lose to Missouri. They could lose to Tennessee. That is number 9. Number 9 will play 8. And then they'd play 1, like we just said. Our next opponent, number 10, Oklahoma State. Our Big 12 runner-up against Utah. I project them to have wins over K-State, Colorado, and potentially Utah early in the season. So we might have a potential Big 12 championship game matchup early in the season.
And you know what that means? If they get that 10th slot,
Yep.
that means you would see them take on a very familiar opponent.
Yeah.
Texas. We've got Pac-12. We've got Big 12. It's all coming back together, guys. The sport that we intended, it's all going to pan out and end up hopefully being what we actually had before.
Like we talked about with our Heisman odds, Ollie Gordon's coming back. That's huge. You're bringing back your quarterback from last year, and you're also bringing back your top 3 wide receivers. So, offense is going to be stacked. Can you be in the top 2 in the Big 12? That's really all you're going to need here to be in the top 12, in my opinion. I have Oklahoma State being number 10. You'll see why I have this team below them. And that team is number 11, which would play number 6 in the hypothetical 12-team playoff, Notre Dame. Why do I have Notre Dame number 11?
Can I take a guess here? Don't play in conference.
Yep.
And the schedule is really nothing to look out for. Projected wins over A&M.
Yep.
The Aggies. Bunch of weirdos down there. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm joking.
Fine.
Louisville. Georgia Tech. Florida State. Well, Florida State would be a close loss the way we have our projections here.
Yeah.
And then USC. Bunch of solid teams in there.
Yeah.
But you don't really have that top-end talent other than that Florida State game. And that's really going to be your decider of how well does this team truly compare.
I don't know. It's hard. It's like you got to have convincing wins here. A&M, Louisville, Georgia Tech, USC. Keep it close with Florida State. It's in Tallahassee, I believe. So you just got to keep it close. You are my 11th seed projected. There's a lot of teams that I have on the bubble. We'll list those bubble teams before we even get to number 12. Okay? So like we said before, 6 would play 11. So Ole Miss, we have Ole Miss playing Notre Dame first round. That's going to be a good game. Both physical running style teams. Probably have Ole Miss winning that game just because it's in Oxford. So Ohio State potentially playing Ole Miss, which ironically enough, Quinshawn Judkins gets his get back. Or Notre Dame, which ironically enough could get their chance at a get back from last year. So the playoff, while it's trying to drive division, is actually bringing these matchups back together again. That is special. Let's talk about our bubble teams before we get to number 12.
And these are all teams that, like I said, it's a balance of the ball type thing where you can easily get in over these bottom 2 seeds here.
Yeah.
I'll name a couple. Missouri.
Yep.
They could definitely be a runner-up in the SEC.
They could.
Clemson, they could go out and win the dang ACC.
Yeah.
They could take that Florida State spot. Make that a 2-bid league.
For sure.
Tennessee.
Yep.
Easily in the hunt there. Pick up a win over Ole Miss.
Yep.
Alabama, welcome to the playoff.
And one more team that I have on this list that isn't mentioned in the list we're looking at. Iowa.
Whoa.
Iowa potentially could sneak into that top 12. They'll have that loss probably at Ohio State. But otherwise, the rest of the schedule kind of fits well for them. If they can go in 11-1, keep it somewhat close in the shoe, under 25 points, you have a chance to be in that top 12 if Notre Dame kind of slips a little bit against those middle-of-the-pack teams, especially Oklahoma State. How does their offense look? Alabama, we're really unsure if they're going to go through that gauntlet. But there's a chance we could see Iowa in that top 12. I would love to see that. Obviously, doesn't bode well because they would play Oregon round 1. Let's get to number 12.
And this is our G5 champ, our Group of 5 champion here.
Yep.
We've got SMU.
Yeah.
A high-octane offense.
Yep.
Who's got a pedigree. I've been saying that word a lot tonight. It's a nice word. Pedigree. It makes me feel smart. It does. It truly does.
Yeah. Okay, SMU 2023. What happened? They were 11-2. Their quarterback had an injury, so he didn't play in the bowl game or the championship game. They're bringing back their quarterback. They're bringing back their running back and 4 starting O-linemen. Okay? I project them to be the American Athletic Conference champion. I project them to be undefeated next year.
Over Tulane.
Over Tulane. Tulane got some portal talent. I will say that. They're one team I might pick to be this Group of 5 champion. But the only reason that SMU wasn't playing Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl last year was because Liberty was undefeated. Yet Liberty did not play a single Power 5 opponent where SMU played 2. So, I project SMU to have a chip on their shoulder. Let's talk about this real quick. The Pac-2, I believe they are being left out of this conversation for now because they won't play a championship game. They won't play each other in the season, Washington State and Oregon State. Okay, but then they're going to be playing a bunch of Mountain West teams. I think they only have like 8 games scheduled so far. So they somehow got to find 4 more teams to play. Who knows if they're going to actually have a championship game. It would be, exactly college football if they did. So, that is our top 12.
And you know what? I think we've got a guest cameo appearance here. Ow! You got...
Cameo appearance from the young Raj.
Oh!
Okay, guys, that is our top 12 projected on February 21st, okay? So if you find this video on April 4th and you say, oh, why is Alabama here? Why is Oregon here?
So help me God. I will be in your DMs. Sending you up-close selfies under my nose. With random words of encouragement underneath it. If you
We're coming for you, man. Okay? Don't come for us, and we won't come for you. No pause. No pause. Okay? That's our top 12. Okay? That's our projection. My partner's gone, but it's always Cody Minks to my right. Okay? I'm Montana Bohr. Thank you guys for watching. That'll be episode 4. Top 12 projection for the new playoff. Give your comments. We need your comments. We'll react to them on the next video. Subscribe, as always. Ring that notification bell. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.